Welcome to the SVG-TV news for Monday, September 21st. I am Khalil Kato with the details. The Surveillance Committee of the Ministry of Health, Wellness and the Environment is currently investigating 4 deaths over the last 3 weeks of persons who presented symptoms suggestive of dengue fever. Larissa Pugsley-Kidd tells us more in this report.
The dengue fever outbreak in SVG, first noted in July 2020, continues with a total of 306 laboratory-confirmed cases from January 1, 2020 to September 11, 2020, the highest ever recorded. In a press release issued today, Monday 21st, 2020, the Ministry of Health, Wellness and the Environment said they are investigating 4 deaths that occurred over the last 3 weeks with persons who had dengue fever-like symptoms and quickly deteriorated, some with features of acute kidney failure. The release said 1 elderly female was confirmed on laboratory diagnosis to have had dengue fever. 1 young male was negative for dengue fever, Zika, and COVID-19. Another young male died before the dengue test could be completed, and the 4th person was negative for COVID-19, but some of their other results, including dengue, are still outstanding. The ministry said while all health districts are affected by the mosquito-borne disease, 65.9% of all cases are from the Kingstown, Georgetown, and Pembroke health districts. It noted that what is worrying is that 51.3% of persons affected by dengue are in the 0 to 15 years age group. In response to the increase to admit persons with moderate dengue, the ministry said it has been decided that all available beds in the public system should be used, including some at the Argyle Isolation Facility. The ministry said one section of this facility, which is designed for the management of persons with infectious diseases, will be used for patients with suspected dengue fever who require rehydration and observation. Another section will be reserved to accommodate any COVID-19 patients who may present in the future. Dengue fever is mostly a mild febrile illness, lasting 5 to 7 days, requiring only regular doses of paracetamol and/or oral fluids as treatment. However, dengue fever can sometimes result in serious illness with pain behind the eyes, severe vomiting, abnormal bleeding, and dizziness. Dengue hemorrhagic fever and acute renal failure are complications of dengue fever and can lead to death. Persons with symptoms of dengue fever are asked to seek medical care early on in the course of their illness, as rapid worsening can occur. The Ministry of Health said it has increased fogging by the Vector Control Unit with a focus on schools and health facilities. In communities where fogging exercise is ongoing, persons are asked to open their homes to allow for an effective fogging. The public is again reminded of the importance of reducing their exposure to the mosquito, which causes dengue, by reducing the breeding of the mosquito, by discarding or covering properly collected water, reducing rubbish and overgrown bush, wearing light-colored clothes with long pants and sleeves, and using insect repellent. For SVGTV News, Larissa Pugsley-Kidd.
Infectious disease specialist Dr. Jose Davy is urging parents and guardians to be on the lookout for the signs and symptoms of dengue fever in their children. For the past few weeks, the country has recorded a higher than normal level of dengue fever cases, prompting the Health Ministry to intensify its fogging and public education programs. Speaking with SVG-TV News, Dr. Davy said special attention must be paid to children.
So when it comes to dengue fever, I wouldn't say that children are more susceptible to dengue than adults, because anyone can be bitten by a mosquito. But the problem with children and most diseases is that, 1, their immune system is not as developed as an adult, and 2, children can dehydrate much quicker than an adult. And it's harder for us to know when a child is dehydrated as compared to an adult. For one reason, the adult would speak and they would say, "I'm thirsty." But the children, you really have to dig deep to see signs of dehydration with a child. And the fact that they can't really express the fact that they're having headaches, they're having all these pains, then that may be leading towards why they're so severely affected.
The infectious disease specialist said there are routine symptoms which include fever, rash, joint pains, and flu-like symptoms. Stressing that dengue is serious, Dr. Davy highlighted what she described as the warning signs.
But we're moving into dangerous territory when persons are having vomiting to the point where they're not keeping anything down, abdominal pain, severe abdominal pain, and where they're droopy, they can't keep themselves up, and of course bleeding from anywhere. So when we speak of bleeding, we're talking about it may be nosebleeds, it may be bleeding when you're brushing your teeth, bleeding from the bottom, bleeding in the urine. For women, if you're having your menses, your periods may be a little bit heavier, or it may not be time for your period and then you're bleeding there vaginally. So those are what we call warning signs. If these things are happening to you, you need to seek care immediately because it's not a joke. Dengue kills lots of people a year, not in St. Vincent, but internationally, especially in places like Brazil. I remember one professor was saying that they recorded 300 deaths in 1 month in one province. So it's just that it's not happened a lot here before the deaths, but we have to pay attention to signs and symptoms of dengue, especially the warning signs that I've just mentioned.
Dr. Davy said keeping a clean environment is the first step of protecting against dengue fever.
All the way back to the environmental screenings. What do you have in your home? Do you have your vases that you don't change the water? We need to start with little things like this. Do you have your septic tank that is not sealed? Because mosquitoes, they breed in very small amount of water. And I know persons are like, they're spraying out and they're closing the doors early, but the Aedes aegypti, which is the mosquito that spreads dengue, is a day-biting mosquito. So in the morning, it's going to bite you. This is not a night biting one. So you have to take care, wear longer clothing, insect repellent. If you're somebody who likes to go to the mountain, as lots of people do, put on your long clothing, wear your repellent. If there are containers around, coconut shells, tires, all of these things need to be turned upside down so they don't collect water. If you're guttering, some people have guttering on their houses, ensure that they're dry because these mosquitoes, they only need a small bit of liquid to breed. When persons come around to fog from environmental health, keep your windows open because we need that fume to go inside to kill the adult mosquito. So these are some of the things that we can do to protect ourselves.
As SVG continues to experience high temperatures, the infectious disease specialist is advising persons to stay hydrated and to look out for those who may be experiencing a heat stroke. For the past several days, we have been experiencing very humid conditions, with last Friday being one of the hottest days recorded at around 32 degrees Celsius. Dr. Davies said with this heat, compounded by dengue, it is crucial to keep persons hydrated.
So we have been experiencing extreme temperatures and also the humidity is high, so both things. And yes, persons should remain hydrated, especially in our season of dengue, because dehydration is the major cause of people declining in health-wise. So yes, with it being very hot, you have to increase the amount of liquid you drink. And when I say liquid, not only water, you need your electrolytes. So I like to tell people to go and get their coconut water and probably stay off some of the fake stuff. But the coconut water is very important because it has potassium and other electrolytes in it. So persons are asked to stay hydrated, not only because of dengue, but for your regular bodily functions.
Extreme temperatures may cause persons to suffer a heat stroke. That should be Dr. Davy, highlighted what to look out for and how persons can help.
If someone is having a heat stroke, they may appear delirious, as in they may act a little confused. You may see them sweating a lot profusely. Their tongue might be dry, their mouth might be dry. They just look really out of sort, and if you know the person, whether or not you know the person, you can tell if somebody is confused. So that's probably one of the major things going on there. Well, yeah. Well, fainting can be anything, so they may not associate fainting to having a heat stroke, but yes, fainting would be one of those as well. If you think someone is having a heat stroke, well, of course, you would first call for the emergency vehicle to come and get that person, but you want to keep them in the shade. If you have wet towels with room temperature water, you can place them especially on the forehead, the axillary regions, and by the thigh. But if you have a big one, then it will be good to place it over the body until they can get IV fluids and all of that to get them back to health.
Over 800 students successfully completed their studies at the SVG Community College at the end of the 2019-2020 academic year. However, only 400 of these students took part in the graduation ceremony last Friday due to COVID-19 protocols. The graduation ceremonies were also conducted differently this year, with officials, valedictorians, principals, and guest speakers delivering their addresses via pre-recorded video presentations. The valedictorian of the Division of Arts, Sciences, and General Studies was Kelsey Allen. Nursing Education Division's valedictorian was Isabel Clouden. The valedictorian of the Division of Technical and Vocational Education was Sarana Harry, with Abigail Paul Camara being the valedictorian for the Division of Teachers. The valedictorians shared their experiences and challenges they faced in completing their college education during this period of COVID-19.
Nevertheless, despite the struggles that the COVID-19 pandemic has brought us, we are here and we have succeeded. Let the pain of today be the strength of tomorrow. Paulo Coelho. This short quote is what inspired me throughout my years at the college. It helped me push through my struggles as a DTVE student. Like an athlete in intense training, every 8-page assignment, every 2,000-word essay, every exam that seemed impossible to complete or to pass was a step towards your success.
My time at the DTA has been amazing and rewarding. I've learned many life lessons, but 3 stood out to me. 1, working cooperatively with others. After all, teamwork makes the dream work. 2, humility. Always ask for help when you need it. Take criticisms and corrections. Perseverance. Always try your best.
I recall feeling intimidated by this new world that I was about to enter. Yet, I did not hesitate to pursue it. I have since grown into a more professional, empathetic, and knowledgeable individual. One who is equipped and ready to undertake any challenge as it relates to nursing care.
To give some tips to incoming students. Firstly, don't procrastinate. You've heard this before and you're hearing it from me again, but it really is the best way to ensure that you don't end up overwhelmed and stressed and bounded down by schoolwork. So start your assignments, start studying as soon as possible, and you won't end up staying up till odd hours of the morning trying to complete things the night before they're due.
The principals of the 4 divisions of the college, Harriet De Silva, Osborne Bowens, Maxwell Fergus, and Beverly Liverpool, congratulated and encouraged the graduating class of 2020 to continue to work hard and smart.
And I wish you God's blessings and guidance as you embark on this new journey of your career. The Division of Teacher Education has provided you with the necessary tools and skills for your journey. Use them wisely. Always be prepared for your students. Remember that each child has a special talent which you need to nurture in order to assist the child to achieve his or her true potential.
2020 has been an extraordinary year, but you have made it. Grit, dedication, tenacity, all brought to this point. You have been well trained, well prepared for the world of work and higher education. Now I want to proudly present you to St. Vincent and the Grenadines and to the world. Go proudly, go confidently, work hard, work smart, and make the world a better place. Thank you.
Hi.
Class of 2020, congratulations on your well-deserved success. I'm proud of you, and I'm happy to share these special moments with you. As you leave the Division of Arts, Sciences, and General Studies, I hope you will take with you not only academics, but also memories, friendships, and experiences that will serve you well in life.
You would understand that we are in a time of great change and uncertainty. The COVID-19 pandemic is forcing us to navigate uncharted waters. But what should give you comfort and confidence is the fact that you have been educated and trained to become a competent registered nurse. With your knowledge, skills, and talent, I know that you will meet the mark and be the best nursing leaders that your community, this nation, and the world need you to be.
Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves has encouraged the 2020 graduates of the college to turn every setback into an advance and to do their best in their endeavors.
Many of you are in transition to other jobs. Many of you are in transition to university, or whatever you're going to do in life. Just do your best. Lots of opportunities are there for you, and we in the government will always provide an uplifting and facilitating framework for you to have all the opportunities so that you can advance. If you have at any time any setbacks, please turn those setbacks into advances. Be good to everyone around you. Know that you have to take care of yourself, your family, and your communities, your country, and love, which is very important. Most important is to be yourself.
Meanwhile, Minister of Education Sinclair Prince told the graduating class to keep away from persons who belittle ambitions and surround themselves with persons who are on the same journey for greatness.
Into spheres of extraordinary. Graduates, today I want you to remember that you are extraordinary, with extraordinary opportunities in a time and land where we are witnessing an education revolution. As you set sail on a voyage to a better life made possible through the investments that are guided by the policies of this government, remember to never lose sight of what is truly important. Be comfortable in your own skin as you continue to value uniqueness and appreciate diversity. In this government, you have found a willing ally who will assist you in maximizing your full potential. This is evident in the tremendous amount of resources that is invested annually in education delivery, diversity, and intervention.
And Director of the college, Nigel Scott, also encouraged the graduates and encouraged them to go bravely into their future and to continue to aspire for excellence.
This final year for you has been a tremendous one, and I'm sure you would look back with many memories. But guess what? You've made it. And as you leave the shores of the St. Vincent and the Grenadines Community College, I wish to leave with you the ABC of entering your future. I encourage you to aspire towards excellence. I encourage you to go bravely into your future. And I also encourage you to commit to dealing carefully with the challenges that lie ahead.
Art is considered an expression of human skill and imagination, and Vincentians can now enjoy a rich variety of local arts and crafts at the SVG Development Center the SVG Development Center of the Arts, which was officially opened on Friday. The Craft Center features a range of art pieces including paintings, drawings, sculptures, photography, as well as crafts, and will provide avenues for local artists and artisans to showcase their products. The Arts Gallery is the brainchild of the members of the group Arts in Action. And Sharika Sayers, a member of the group, said the gallery is one which Vincentian artists and craft makers can call home. She said the arts are of critical importance to society, and it is their hope that the art gallery will foster the growth and development of local artists.
We have photographers, we have painters, we have drawers, we have filmmakers. These are all under the heading of fine arts, visual arts. It's not just drawing, it's not just painting. I try to tell people without art, we cannot have cars. We need people to design these cars. We cannot have tangible items without having a design in the beginning, right? So it is important for us to establish that base before we move on to our career choices. Now, I'm not doubting out those lawyers and doctors. We need those careers, but we do need visual artists.
Also speaking at the opening was Chair of the National Cultural Foundation, Wallace Christopher, who said that the facility is in the perfect location to help promote culture and tourism.
Here we are today, experiencing the grand opening of this tremendous facility. a facility which would host a crafters cove, a national art gallery, an area for training and development of culture and the arts, and a room to host the office of the National Cultural Foundation. I am sure that you will agree that the location of this facility is excellent. Its close proximity to the Botanical Garden will surely make it a must stop and visit by tourists on their way to and from the gardens.
Concurring with Christopher's views, the Minister of Tourism, Sports and Culture, Cecil Mackey, said the center will create an opportunity for local artists and craftsmen and women not only to promote their talent, but also earn an income.
So they can come here and purchase an item that reflects St. Vincent and the Grenadines and take back to the destination. I should mention here that in our training, the emphasis has not only been on quality items, but appropriateness. Because very often, someone comes off the tour ship and they want a small item. And the suggestion is that we encourage our persons who produce art and craft to also have small items that these persons can stick in their bag and take back to the destination. There's also the opportunity in tourism at this facility for persons who have hotels, persons who have business places to come here, because very often they inquire, where do I get a piece of art? Where do I get a bit of craft? And it is difficult to refer persons. So this space would also allow those business entities to come here and make a booking or purchase a piece of art and craft that they can display at their own setting.
On Sunday, the ruling Unity Labour Party launched the South Leeward Women's Arm. The party said the Women's Arm is expected to empower women and young girls in the South Leeward constituency at various levels. Dr. Minerva Glasgow, who will be vying for the seat on the ULP ticket, said she would like to see all women succeed at all levels in society, hence the need to get them involved meaningfully at the political level.
We can have seminars, workshops, and other skill-building activities where we can engage all of our women. Inclusion, empowerment is critical if our women are to perform their roles successfully. So, as I look at the audience, I want you, when you get to the point where you are going to choose the persons to sit on that executive, that you choose wisely. Choose persons who will work.
The former Deputy Director of the National Insurance Services said that she brings to the table a wealth of knowledge on NIS-related matters and is confident of winning the seat for the ULP. Another of the ULP's female candidates is Parliamentary Secretary Deborah Charles, who said that there are many reasons why Glasgow will be a successful woman in Parliament, as more can be done to improve lives in her constituency and across SVG.
You need a voice. You vote for Minnie and you have a voice. Minnie is a woman of integrity. She's disciplined. She's honest. She's forthright. She's skillful. She's resourceful. She has a lot of talents, and I tell you, you could use all of that in South Leeward.
The featured speaker at the event, Renee Batiste, said Glasgow will make a difference in the lives of the people of South Leeward, noting the positive influence women can have, especially during difficult times. Batiste, a former Member of Parliament for West Kingstown, said everyone in South Leeward will benefit from having Glasgow as their MP.
She needs not only a vote, but I go down the list of people who need her. The aged people in this community need her. You see, because the Prime Minister told you that He needs her to help him with the pension scheme. What is he going to do about retirement benefits? Don't think you're going to reach retirement age, you know. Because in 2001, when I ran, I said, ooh, I have time. You know what happened? 2020, I'm at retirement age. Mothers need help. Fathers need help. Fishermen, you need a voice.
Women are supposed to be homemakers, they're not supposed to be politicians. And even staying within that sphere, there's a reality that women have to juggle.
Apologies, that's the wrong insert. As we continue, more needs to be done to level the playing field so that women can get involved in active politics and serve at the highest level. That's the view of lawyer Maya Eustace, who you just saw, who was a panelist on SVG-TV's Viewpoint program last Sunday, which discussed the country's election management process. Eustace pointed out that since 1951, fewer than 10 women have been elected as members of parliament, which speaks volumes. She says though women are overwhelmingly represented at political campaigns, this is not reflected in parliament, and there are many obstacles, such as social stereotypes about their gender roles.
Women are supposed to be homemakers, they're not supposed to be politicians. And even staying within that sphere, there's a reality that women have to juggle managing households. We generally are the ones who manage the households, whether it is a two-person-led household or a single person-led household. We have to juggle managing a household with career obligations in a way that men don't. And it's part of the reason that you find women entering politics very often at later stages in their lives. For instance, after they have raised children. There's still the primacy of motherhood, and women feel it generally, but society also puts it upon them. So those are some of the obstacles. But there are other obstacles as well. There are economic obstacles. Half of our households are female-led households, single-parent-led households. Women are constrained financially in a way that many men aren't, particularly when you consider that unemployment among women tends to be higher.
Eustace said women also face a number of political impediments which prevent them from getting involved in active politics.
When you look at the structures of the political parties, how many political parties are actively recruiting women? How many political parties consider, for instance, a quota for female representation? How many provide additional resources to enable women, in particular young women, to enter the political arena so as to sort of level that playing field? Because crooked and sure, where there is a young male contesting an election and he's married and he has children, there is a woman there running the household and making it possible for him to do that. But those roles tend not to be so easily reversed for women entering the political arena. They wait until they have finished raising children in order to do so. So how many political parties are sort of making it easier for women to enter?
In reference to campaign financing, another panelist on the program, lawyer Roderick Jones, said it is time that political parties are regularized as they can become vulnerable to external influences. He said regulation will help to ensure accountability and transparency.
We may have political parties that are carrying out the agendas of one or two individuals or institutions. We wouldn't know because, of course, they're not accountable to the public. And they don't have to be transparent. They don't have to tell us how they came about whatever monies they have in whatever account at whatever financial institution. So certainly there is a case to be made to have these parties regularized and for there to be proper accountability and transparency among the political parties.